Gervonta Davis, the new face of boxing, or does he need to beat Ryan Garcia first? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, couple of questions being asked to the boxing world today. And the main question is Gervonta Davis the new face of the sport of boxing? Is he bigger than Canelo? Is he bigger than who can I put in there? Tyson Fury? Is he bigger than Usyk? Is he bigger than Devin Haney? You know, he's undisputed. Is he bigger than Spence and Crawford? Is he bigger than the Charlo brothers? And whoever else who's super popular you can think of. Because I feel like at this point, with the hype surrounding this fight, and I thought the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight hype was huge. This fight hype is I would say it's about 20% less than the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight hype, which was huge. And I would say the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight hype was about 50% less than the Maypac fight hype. So when you look at it that way, you got to think that the influence Gervonta Davis is having over this fight is really what's selling the fight. I know people want to believe that it's the Instagram fame of Ryan Garcia that's selling the fight, but I think it's the boxing showmanship of Gervonta Davis that's really selling this fight. And I think there's a couple of questions that go along with, is he the new face of boxing? Is he just the new face of the 135 division? Or is he the new face of the lightweight divisions? Is he the face of boxing, period? Or is he just being praised for the moment because there's nobody else to talk about? If Spence and Crawford had actually made their fight, would they actually be, dwarfing this fight? Or is Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia kind of just, picking up the leftovers that Spence and Crawford left behind by not actually making their fight? And me personally, if you was to ask me, like, is he the new face of boxing, or is he the new face of just the lightweight divisions, 135? I would say that that's a complicated question to answer, simply because I do feel like he's the new face of boxing. I think it would have been Errol Spence if him and Terence Crawford went ahead and did what they were supposed to do last year. If they would have went ahead and got it on, it would have definitely been Errol Spence as the new face of boxing. Now, he's still one of the biggest faces of boxing, but I don't think he ever solidified himself as the main guy. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, that's really between Fury and Canelo. And I would say that would have to do with world popularity. When you go around the world, you're going to most likely hear those two names, and not, a guy like Gervonta or Earl, because they're mainly an American audience type of fighter. And it's hard to compare them with the world fighters like Vasil, like Tyson Fury, like Usyk. Those type of names, it's hard to compare those, Canelo, to a guy who's just really popular in America. Now, I know that Gervonta has fans outside of America, Earl has fans outside of America, but not like the fan bases of a Manny Pacquiao, a Tyson Fury, a Canelo, that are coming with whole countries. They're coming with whole countries, not just a country, but whole countries. Like, you could say that Errol Spence is one of the most popular in America, and he's probably got a few thousand fans in other countries as well, but you're talking about a guy like Tyson Fury who has millions upon millions of fans in America, and a whole country backing him as well, and other countries as well. Same for Canelo, Manny Pacquiao, same thing. That's what separates really Gervonta, Earl, and the foreign fighters, as I'll call them from now on. That's what really separates those guys, is that those guys like Gervonta and Earl and Terrence, they don't have another country to hang their hat on that they can go and say, well, I'm getting millions upon millions of views from this other country as well, because it's just not happening. So to make it fair, like I said, it's a complicated question to answer because of that dynamic in boxing. That dynamic's not in football and basketball and baseball. It might be in soccer and hockey, those other international sports. Boxing's an international sport, so it's kind of hard to answer that question. But if you were to say just in America, let's stick with just America, who is the main face of boxing for America, then I would have to say at the moment it's Gervonta Davis. Now, if Spence and Crawford somehow work out their problems and get that fight going before the end of the year, then I would most definitely say that Spence and Crawford have the better shot of being the face. One of those two guys have the better shot of being the face of boxing by the end of the year. But I think this fight, as well as the fact that we might get a super fight from Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, he might get 2 super fights in 1 year. And this is the reason I give Spence and Crawford so much flack, is because you're talking about a guy like Gervonta Davis. If he don't got to do no jail time, you're going to get 2 super fights most likely out of Gervonta Davis in 1 year. Now, this is how you make superstars, is you got to put on those super fights, because Manny Pacquiao got popular by fighting three times a year, and he was fighting big names. I think he fought Barrera. It was either Barrera or Morales twice in 1 year. So he might have fought both of them twice, and he might have fought both of them in the same year. It was either that he fought both of them in the same year, or he fought one of them twice in the same year. I can't remember all of these fights just off the top of my head, but it was something to that effect, to that scenario. So I think Gervonta Davis, he's right, man. He's definitely right. He said something about Ryan Garcia that I totally agree with, is that
he shouldn't be a boxer. I can see he's fronting. He's not. He's a guy that, and that's okay, but just don't pretend. Boxing on Instagram probably be cool, but not an actual fighter. Like, he should train people or something like that.
Ryan isn't a boxer the way he's a boxer. He's a boxer because he's doing what boxers should be doing. He's an old school style boxer. And now if he was able to put on 2 super fights in 1 year, a Ryan Garcia super fight, and follow that up with a Devin Haney super fight, you might as well call it a done deal. He is the face of boxing. He is the realest boxer out there. Nobody else is doing that. Not a Canelo, not a Fury, not a Ozeki, not a Wilder. No name you could throw out there. Not a Haney. Nobody is putting on 2 mega fights in 1 year besides Gervonta Tank Davis. So give that man all the props if he's able to pull it off, and especially if he beats Devin as well as beating Ryan Garcia. There won't even be a conversation. And I don't even think Ryan should be mentioning that. Even if he does pull the upset, I still don't think he's the face of boxing. I think he would have to beat Gervonta twice for him to be named the face of boxing. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all of that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely to get a response on the tubes, so holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, hit my Gmail, flockofcards@gmail.com. And we are mine.
It's that shit. say you a Mac need bitches. Overcut dope, you pack need stitches. I heard him clapping, but it's not enough hands, cause it's too many rappers, not enough fans. Too many bitches, not enough pants, so she walk around bottomless. Hippopotamus ass, I hope that you acknowledging the bottle in grass. I have your whole pipe polishing, swallowing fast. For my niggas that'll do it if they got to. If it goes down, they got you. Attack whoever in the way of the pay, they'll jab you. For the males, females, they slap you. I know it sound kinda mean, I'm a harsh fellow, and you a marshmallow, heart pump, orange jello. Hell no, they ain't fucking with the dude. I the monster squad, that's a lose-lose. I know you like it, bitch. This shit right here is groovy. Don't need no camera, bitch. My life is like a movie. This that shit you can ride to. This that shit you can ride to. This that shit you can ride to. Okay, this that shit. Hey yo, I'm smoking on the finest pine that you can find. So even though I'm a pimp, I can't sell dimes. Super fresh, piranha black jeans on. I just wanna get rich, put my team on. And niggas talking about Supportville hip hop, but ain't supporting shit till they homeboy shit drop. What's the use of being political? Why hypocritical? My niggas is all I listen to. You wonder who the shit? Well, it isn't you. I'm fly as a bird, y'all pigeon food. All you monkey ass niggas get ridiculed. Monster squad, what real niggas listen to. Put your money on sauce, that's your best bet. Out of GGP, niggas spot less.